Hey guys, it's Blair, the Love Guru from loveguru.net, thealiennetwork.com, and horsehealer.net. This is just a short video to let you know, it's an announcement, it's a short announcement, just to let you know that I am going to be hosting a training about the upcoming alien invasion that's going to be coming to the U.S. So several things came across my awareness over the last couple of days, and it's become very clear to me that they actually are moving forward with this alien invasion agenda. And I thought that that would be a good opportunity for me to teach those of you guys who are interested in learning about what is this agenda, what are the plans, why do they do things like this. And I will be sharing some video clips, some articles, some things just to kind of give an overview of what's going on, why they do these things, why they happen. And also, I'm going to be sharing tools on how you can clear the fear that's going to come up around this, because you are going to end up having anxiety and fear around this. You might even fall for it as well. If you think back to when the coronavirus happened, there were a lot of people in anxiety and fear. And as it went on and the operation continued, more and more people caught that wave of anxiety and fear and then also started believing in it. I remember distinctly on how I was posting on LinkedIn. This was before my original profile got taken down, because several months after that, LinkedIn went in and wiped a bunch of profiles from their server. And then they were like, hey, if you want to get back on, you need to submit your birth certificate and your license and all this other shit. And I was like, yeah, try again. But I digress. So, and actually, that's not a digression. That is actually related to what I'm sharing here. I went through a bunch of the material yesterday because there was just a quote alien sighting in Miami the last couple of days. And I mean, I think this is hilarious. But, because I know what's going on. But number one, a lot of people are falling for it, believing that it's aliens. Then you have a group of people thinking that it's, I don't know what this word is, like Nephilim or something. It's like a Christian Bible thing, which I think is like, I think it's another word for like fallen devil, like a demon or something like that. These things are incorrect, like this is incorrect. But that's what, and then they're saying, oh, it was nothing, but like all these like black op helicopters came out, and then they closed down the Miami airport, and like there was something like 30 or 50 police cars that came to the scene. Like it was a whole thing. And I'll be teaching about that. But what I'm sharing here is that those of us who are, can I say, like, we're the OG truthers, educators? I mean, there was a group before me. I mean, obviously there's always like groups before, but those of us who have sort of graduated out of certain levels of the matrix but know what's going on, we don't post anymore. We're not on these outlets anymore because we're censored on these outlets. And instead, there's like this new wave of, like, you can say truthers that are like, the government's lying to us, and this is what happened, and we want to know about the aliens at the Miami market. And it's like, dude, you are lost and confused. Like, you're not understanding what's going on here. So I'm offering a training for those of you guys who actually want to know what's up, and also to clear the fears, because even though and this was a lot of us out there, knew what was going on with the CV, we'll just leave it at that, there was still waves of fear that you had to deal with. Because it was so heavy in the population that if you're empathic or intuitive, whatever you want to call it, psychic, whatever the words you want to use, you're going to be picking up on those vibrations. So you might be falling for it too, and you have to learn how to clear it, because there are also like certain OG like truthers out there that are still sharing information like in the crevices, and some of them have really gone off the deep end. I think that like some of them at this point are like really mentally ill because they're so wrapped up, well, in several things, but I can see it very clearly. It's the fear. They don't know how to clear the fear. They haven't done healing work on themselves. They don't understand the spiritual aspect of these operations and or the matrix, how to transcend the matrix. Besides the fact of just being like, this is a spiritual war, this is a spiritual war. There's more than that, and besides being all Bible bullshit. So there's more to it. So I'm sharing a virtual training on this. You can find out information about it, and you can sign up at thealiennetwork.com. It's under Freedom, the Freedom tab. You'll see Alien Invasion. And it's not a live training. You're pre-signing up for a recorded training. I have it slated for an hour, but I'm known to always go over and share more information. And also I'm known to raise the prices after I record certain things, because I end up sharing a lot of information ends up coming through much more than I originally had expected or put in the agenda, and so then the price goes up higher afterwards. So anyway, if you're interested in learning about this, and it's always good to have the information before something happens, as well as the tools that I'm going to be sharing with you, so that you are prepared and you're not swept up in what's going to happen, because that's always going to happen. And then you fall victim to whatever's going on. So, that's just the final point. I remember being on LinkedIn, and originally when the CV started, I was sort of making jokes about it and pointing out certain things in the narrative, like holes in the narrative. And there were other people who I was connected to that were like right on it with me, laughing about it. They thought it was weird, blah, blah, blah. And then some weeks went by. I think it was like in a matter of weeks or maybe a month or whatever went by, and they were in fear. Then they didn't want to talk about it. It became just like off limits. It was and it was also, I saw this in person too, because I was very actively sharing information and education with my neighbors and the people in the town that I lived. It was a very like close-knit town in Jersey, and I was always hanging out in the parks, and I just felt really guided during that time to go out to the parks and hang out there all the time and just share information. Like I was handing out stuff and talking to people nonstop. And originally when that whole thing started, people were very much like, what's going on here? And why do we need to wear masks? And, oh, the 6 feet distance. Oh my God, that's so silly. And then there was a distinct shift in the air that all of a sudden people were just getting sick. They were not laughing about the mask thing, and they started yelling at people who were not wearing the mask. So this is going to happen with the alien thing too, as well as other things that come down the pike. Even if you think it's hilarious now, you can see right through it. It's going to get real. Okay? So come join me. It's on the aliennetwork.com under Alien Invasion. Bye-bye.